medicines, we could sell consultations, we could sell seminars, similar to this Satsang. We could have a weekly seminar for people suffering from depression, let's say, or high cholesterol or something like that. A support group to help them, because any condition like that is not just a matter of taking medicine. It's also education. It's also you have to change your lifestyle, and that requires support, because usually you've got a certain lifestyle because you're in a particular kind of association and like that. So you need some other association to help you change. Anyway, these would be paid services over and above the free content that basically tells people what it's all about. So we're working on that. And then we kind of put two and two together and say, wait a minute. If we're going to do this and have relationship with people in India and establish a store selling Indian medicines and stuff like that, huh? No, you can't. We can't show that. That's a secret. we have our secret sign, our secret esoteric school. But anyway, we're thinking that we could combine these two ideas. That if we're going to engage people in India and have a relationship with people in India, and we're doing some medicines based on the Indian formulas and so on and so on and so on, why not have our community in India? Duh. Finally, hit the other day. That the land there is like 1/10 the price of the land here at the moment. But one of the things about the Indian market is that it's going up very fast. They're still in the bubble phase. So any land that you get in India, the price is going to double in the next 2 or 3 years. So we could do that same program where we get a bigger piece of land than we actually need, and then develop parcels, each with its own little cabin and its own little garden and fruit trees, and make it very nice, and sell these off, and from the income generated, we'd hold the land for 2 or 3 years, and from the income that's generated, we would be able to pay off all the land and pay back the investors, and we would only be talking about an investment of $100,000 instead of $1 million. That's a much easier amount of money to come up with. So the people who invested, they would be investing as a business proposition, and they would get their investment plus some return in 2 or 3 years. Meanwhile, the income stream from selling the parcels would help us develop our own piece of land, make a temple and different buildings and cabins and water supply and sanitation and so on. And then we would be in a position to basically retire to India in 2 or 3 years. So this is the plan, and we want to also, another insight was, instead of trying to achieve agricultural self-sufficiency, which is very difficult because that means you have to grow 50 different things. Instead, we use our land to grow the medicinal herbs for the medicines that we're selling on the online store. So you see the synergy is very nice. And the income generated from a piece of land used to grow medicinal herbs is maybe 5 to 10 times the income generated from growing food, because food, the value of food is pretty much set by the local marketplace. But the value of the medicinal herbs is set by the global marketplace. In other words, if we were living in South India, food is very cheap there. So if we were growing food, then the value would be set by the local market. In other words, we could go out into the store and buy the same food for much less effort than growing it ourselves. But if we're growing medicinal herbs and selling the medicines based on those herbs in the US, Canada, Europe, places like that, then the price that we're getting per acre or per the amount of labor and time and investment that we would have to make would be much, much greater. Took a while to get through the thick noggin here, but it's a much more, we would be leveraging our investment in the land to a much higher degree. And we could start this very easily. Actually, we could start it with the money that we've already got. We could buy, let's say, an acre or two of land in somewhere in South India, in the climate where these herbs are normally grown, and hire some local people to take care of it. I mean, you can buy an acre for about $2,000 of arable land. And we could hire people very cheaply to manage it for us and grow the herbs and all like that, and make a really, really good profit by selling them online in the Western countries. So that's our idea. And that's a big picture. We don't have the details yet. We're working on those. We're working on them now. But I wanted to let everybody know so that they can think about how they might want to get involved, how they might want to contribute, or how they might want to plan in the future to maybe join this community. India is a little bit farther away than Chile. Just a little bit. But we're not going there next week, huh? We're going maybe, I don't know, next year. We already made a deal, to be here for a year. 1 month of that is already gone, so 11 months. And actually, practically speaking, we could move out of here anytime. We're not in a big contract like we would be in the U.S. with a lease. But we're not ready to move just yet. We're just getting settled in here, So this is a long-term plan. This is maybe a year off. It's been a long time since I had the leisure to just sit somewhere for a year. In the past, we were always on the move, going here and there. We weren't really settled anywhere. Now we have everything here in one place, and it's comfortable, and we have adequate facility to preach, to teach, to organize, to set up our future. And so we want to set up a really nice future. And I think that by, we'll get a number of advantages by doing a project in India. And one of the biggest advantages is that the local people will understand what we're trying to do. Here, we're always going against the grain. Everybody's meat eater, everybody is a drunkard, everyone taking dope, having sex like animals. It's just the whole society is malecha society. It's materialist. So nobody really understands, what do we do? Who are these weird people walking around with white clothes and beads and stuff? They don't understand. Whereas in India, everyone will understand. They may be rascals, they may not be into the same lifestyle, but at least they'll know that we are, and they'll know why, and so on and so on. Another point is, everything is much cheaper in India, especially land. Land in the West is just way, way inflated beyond any reasonable price because of the financial speculation that's going on. I don't get me started on that topic because that's a big rant. But they have made the land so expensive, no ordinary person can afford it. You have to have a big loan from the bank and all that nonsense. Well, we're not going to go there. If we do get a big piece of land beyond what we have as far as cash reserves, then it will be as part of some investment plan so that people who are part of our community or who are favorable towards our community can make a little money. We'll make a little business deal with them. That's outside. We'll form a separate company, a for-profit company, to do this dealing. It'll be for-profit related business, so it would be taxed at a lower rate than an unrelated business, and we can do that wherever we are. We already have our U.S. nonprofit religious corporation, and we can form a related corporation either in the U.S. or in another country, wherever we're going to do the project. So that's the easy part. The hard part is trying to see how this is going to affect our community. I know there are several devotees already planning to come to Chile for a visit. Well,